Usually about every 2 years, like we'll do like 14 at a time, like in one day. So that usually puts, and what's funny is they kind of produce them as we go. So they usually take about a year to get all of them done. So by the time we get through 2 years, we've kind of ran through that creative, and then we gotta kind of freshen it up. So yeah, we'll probably be freshening it up here pretty soon.
Do you come, you do have a pretty clear idea what you want to do. Do you go to your agency with that, and then they come to you with the I want to say goofy, but the fun, eye-catching ideas? And then how much back and forth is there when you develop your creative?
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest mistakes another big mistake guys make is they don't have a theme to their creative and most guys do like maybe 6 commercials all at one time. And the biggest mistake they make is they just do these, they don't have an overall theme.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, and I think Gus was saying it on stage, and I thought it was a really great point. He goes, look, if Apple made a hotel, you can picture that in your head right now, can't you?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because they have a look and a feel and their store does, and it just resonates through the whole company, what you picture in your head. So I think the mistake we make is that we don't use a commonality theme of our business and go, here's what Baker Brothers looks like.
Yeah.
Here's what Baker Brothers should be about.
Yeah.
And so I think when they do their creative, we used to go, hey, you know what? We really want to exude timeliness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to do. I want it to be like timely. Hey, this next year, I want it to be about how great our technicians are. I want it to be about safety in your home, background check, drug tested technicians in their home. That's what I want everything to revolve around. So when we're getting stuck creatively or what should we do, you can still have, hey, fix your toilet, fix your faucet, but you can go now.
Right.
Call bakernow.com. You can put everything in there that's timely, everything in there like the next time that's about your technicians and how great they are. We had a commercial where the technicians stood up like a superhero with a flag in the background, and then it had a funny thing like, what's more on time than a Baker Brothers plumber? And then it would just show a still picture of Big Bend, and it would make some dongs, and it'd be kind of a little chuckle, and then they go, yeah, but those hands can't fix a leak.
Yeah.
And then it would go back into the truck and the insulate. So that was a good, because that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to make our guys look like heroes, clean cut, safe in your own. I would let any one of those guys in my house. They were our real technicians, not actors.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think, what you have to do is you have to create your theme. What's your company about? And I think, we talked about on stage about, core values.
Yep.
And I was like, man, don't have a core value that's not, if you don't care about people, then, it's not one of your values, then you can't put it up there and then go, yeah, you all care about everybody when I don't.
Yeah.
It's really something that it's whatever it is that's, you're the heart of the company, that it's going to go leadership down the culture. And you can have a winning culture. You can have all kinds of different cultures, but I think you have to exude that culture through everything you do. My daughter's starting a business, and she was like, hey, here's my logo, and she got a sign, and everything's done. Well, she goes, well, hey, on these tags, her colors are blue in the logo. Well, then on the tag, it's like, hey, I could do black and white or whatever. I go, no, you just do blue. You do that logo over and over and over, and you just, it's like, it looks the same every single time that someone sees it. And I said, so that's kind of what I'd suggest too for a lot of our companies is, man, just look the same. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of guys will print, back when we used to print work orders, like nobody does that anymore, but they would print black, they just print 2-color work orders.
Right.
And they have a 3-color logo. And I go, why? You're changing your logo.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola never changed. Apple never changed. That apple with the bite out has been there forever. I go, so it's just, don't change it. Like, make it look the same. Keep the common theme going. Make sure, and then when you have like creative, everybody starts getting on a whiteboard and thinking these funny things, or just even whatever.
Right.
Look different.
Right.
Don't look like everyone else.
Let me interject real quick.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with enough agencies. I worked at an agency before I came here. There's guys, they'll get down a rabbit hole of creative and fun.
Yeah.
How much do you pull and go, okay, hey, remember, this is what we need to exude timeliness,
Yeah.
Is there a lot of give and take when you're in this creative, or you guys got it down where they know what you want now?
Yeah, we pick, and I'll be honest, the last couple of times we're like, hey, y'all really aren't providing us with enough scripts. Like if we were going to do 6 spots,
yeah,
they should give us 12 scripts.
Yeah.
And then we go, well, I don't like what that script says. Hey, change this. So you should be actively involved. And if your agency doesn't like it, there's another one right down the street.
Yeah.
You know, they're supposed to. Now, the other part too, to be fair, before they start their creative process, because anybody who's creative, when they create something, they take offense if you go, yeah, your baby's ugly, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
they do. Yeah.
And it's hard to do. So, but
Sure.
to be fair, if you're very clear about the direction on the front end of it,
Right.
and clarity means not giving them like a freaking paragraph of stuff to say, hey, we're trying to do this.
Yeah.
But if you're to go, we really want to focus on 2 things in these spots, like timeliness and how good our techs are. And that's all we want to, then you've given them the road. Then you ask them, so what, instead that script's not as bad, what's that have to do with timeliness? Right? Like what does that have to do with value? So then now you're asking a question that you gave them clarity.
Yeah.
And now you're challenging is, please clear this up for me.
Right.
You know, and I think that, and understand that you know, they're not that great at their, I mean, they're good at their job and stuff. That's why you're hiring them, but they're not so good that they can't be like tweaked a little bit.
No, they're not in our industry. That's the thing. That's how I always feel with agencies. They're coming to the outside. You got to kind of guide them a little bit.
I mean, and even us, like we get so egocentric in what we do that we forget that customers don't sit around all day thinking about plumbing, AC, and electric.
Right.
And they're the same way. They forget that the people watching what they're doing are the important people that we're trying to influence. So I think that's the same thing as, you know, we do that all the time. We think people are just sitting around. I go, yeah, your customer's not sitting around thinking, when's my next plumbing problem? I'd really like to call Jimmie.
That's right.
It's like, that's not, you know, that's not what's going on.